Can you tell me a little bit about the African Festival of Boston and what attendees can expect?
Thank you. Well, 14 years ago, we had this bright idea of celebrating, the 50th anniversary of a lot of, African countries going through independence, celebrating the 50th. So we thought that, hey, since the community, the African community is so disconnected with the city and all, we're like, how can we do to bring everybody together? And what we do in our culture, it's usually festival, traditional, celebrating our culture, our differences and diversity. And something that was coming up a lot was people were still questioning if Africa was a continent or Africa was a country, and if it's a continent, how many countries was in Africa. So that's basically what we wanted to showcase, that Africa is a continent with then was 53 countries, now 54 countries, and it's quite diverse. And that beauty, that diversity, we brought it here in Boston. Each of us has different stories, but our story, we chose to say it through the culture that we celebrate every year.
Amazing. What an amazing event to continue to do.
Yes.
Over 10 years, almost 15 years.
Yes.
Niu, you're going to be performing this weekend.
Yes.
Can you tell me about your performance?
Yeah, so I am a singer-songwriter originally from Madagascar, and I have been performing in Boston over the past 10 years. And actually, one of the very first few events that I performed at when I was in college was the African Festival of Boston, which felt right at home. It was a platform for me to perform music that is a fusion. My music is a fusion of traditional Malagasy music, but also fused with a lot of American sound, since I live now in Boston and also go back and forth from here in Madagascar, and my family is still in Madagascar. So you're gonna hear a lot of sounds from Madagascar that is infused with a lot of African and American sound as well. But I also grew up in different parts of Africa, like the DRC or Uganda or Kenya or South Africa. So I fuse all that in my music, and I hope that I can take everybody on a journey on Saturday.
Yeah, amazing. And will you give us a little sample of what we'll be hearing?
Yeah, so there is a song that I'm going to be performing called Madagascar, and it goes a little bit like this. I like the way you make my heart beat. Sounds like the gem is on my hometown. I like the way you understand me, like you speak in the language of my hometown. You make me shiver like the breeze from the ocean. Aye, 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 aye. Oh, feelings get deeper when the Indian Ocean. Aye, 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 aye. Oh, baby, babe, you make me feel like home, 'cause you remind me of Madagascar.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for blessing us with that. Wow, I'm really excited for this, right?
Yeah,
Me
we're
too.
excited too. Yes.
Everybody's excited.
Yes.
So you were talking before about bringing the African culture, all the different African cultures, to Boston. Why is Boston such a great place for, showing this vehicle into the many cultures of the African diaspora?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. I personally came here as an international student, so I learned English here. And a lot of us, some came in as an international student and, with diverse story. So the beauty of it is we chose Boston for our education, and Boston became home, became a shelter for those who did not have a shelter back home, and became kind of, where they found the safetyness. So for us, the African Festival of Boston means more kind of, it's a home away from home. So Boston brought that as, connected all of us from Africa, from different countries in one place. It used to be one day, now it's 2 days. So we have kind of, that's still that strong connection with Boston. It's home to me. I have children here, and it's home to so many people. And that fusion that Niu was trying to explain, I think that's what we're trying to portray. But more importantly, as now we're starting really trying to make a strong statement that, hey, we're here, Boston is home. we need to be inclusive. Let's all come together, the Black and brown community, African immigrant refugees, all of us that are here in Boston, let's come together and celebrate our culture. So it's open to everyone. That's why it's an event that is open and free to all, for everyone to bring, the different beauty that, some their forefathers, their grandfather, their mothers, their parents brought into Boston. Yes. So it's all about that fusion that Niu was talking about earlier.
Amazing. Wow, what a beautiful
you.
message. Lastly, what makes AFOB such a precious, a special event for the Black community of Boston?
I love that. I love the way you say that, AFOB.
Right?
I never even thought of that.
Right?
Yes.
I was also thinking Boston AF.
No, AFOB is
I love AFOB.
it means a lot. It means a lot, and especially now, like we talk about COVID, after COVID, a lot of people came together, some of our communities, and you're seeing that access to services, access to equity, access to, diversity and inclusion, which we've been thriving for so long. And I think that, having the leadership that we have, and we all have to commend the amazing work that Mayor Yu is doing, because the fact that to really showcasing that immigrant story matters, immigrant culture matters. It's also quite such a high note for the Black and brown community here. And there's been all throughout summer, we've been attending diverse events to showing you that, hey, people are looking for something. We want to make a statement in a positive way, and we're using culture. We're using our voice, visual performance, anywhere we can make that, to advocate for our right. We're here, and this is home, and I think that's really means a lot. It means a lot for all of us together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And where can our viewers find out more information, dates, performers, all that stuff?
Definitely. You'll get to see amazing performers, artists, Boston-based, with all, bringing the diversity of the continent. On August 17, Niu will be the closing act, so no one should be, missing that closing act. And myself, I'm so excited, looking forward to it. So the festival this year, again, for the second time around, will be 2 days, August 17 and August 18. And it's all throughout the days, it started at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., sorry. But one addition that we brought last year was the Children Culture Village. And it's a high note because we all grew up reading, learning about our stories. And some of the local authors, they were able to, kind of translate that into storytelling, for the children, and they brought it to the community. So that's why we want the children and the youth to also come, meet the author, take time to read some of the stories. The BU Africana Study will also be there. We'll have a traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony that people should be looking forward to. So, just come and have a great time and discover our culture, our heritage that we bring here in Boston.